Challenge number 452, being a blind YouTuber, traffic and not getting hit by it.
Welcome back to The Blind Perspective. As you know, I'm legally blind, and a question I have gotten recently is, how do you do YouTube if you're legally blind? So today I'm going to show you. From the equipment I use to going out and doing some filming on scene, if you want to say, to the editing process, I'm going to show you how I do it. So one of the first questions is equipment. What kind of equipment do I use? So I do all of my filming on an iPhone 14 Pro Max. And what kind of microphone do I use? I use the DJI wireless mic system. I really like this. What it includes is, it's got this case. It's a charging case. And when you open it up, you can see all the light indicators are there and things like that. And just to kind of be very brief, because I don't want to bore you with a bunch of techiness, but and if you guys want me to do more of a full review and kind of demonstration of this mic, let me know, because I can do that. But the reason why this works so good for a YouTuber is because there are adapters right back here. This is your receiver, and there's an adapter that is Lightning and USB-C. So you have both options. So you can plug this into a Samsung phone or an iPhone. When I was looking up wireless mics, first of all, you would get pretty low quality for your wireless mic, or you had to pick between whether it was iPhone or Samsung. And then that was it. It was only going to work for a phone. It wasn't going to work for a camera. So, you know, a DSLR camera. So this will work for that, because what it also comes with is this cable here that will connect to a DSLR camera. So that makes this very versatile. Something else that's very handy is the microphones themselves. You have two options. You can clip this on with the clip, or you can take this little magnet off here, and it's a very strong magnet, but you then can stick this like inside and have it just, you know, clipped on and connected to your shirt or whatever. And you can do it the other direction so that it's hidden more. So those are options you have. Something else that you get is you get two of these windscreens, and they work really nice. I've used it in windy situations and it is really good. Another thing that I really like about this mic system is that there is the audio output so that you can connect headphones to this and listen to the feedback, because there's nothing worse than thinking you're getting good audio and you're actually not. So that's really cool. Also, just another thing inside of this little box is also the shoe mount. If you want to use this with a camera, it does come with the shoe mount. Something that I purchased separately is one of these Bluetooth transmitter and receivers, so that I can connect that to the headphone jack and then listen with wireless headphones, so that if I'm far enough away from the camera that wired headphones aren't gonna work. So this I purchased separately. I think I got this for like $25 on Amazon, and it works really well. So, and I just use my AirPods and can connect that way. It also comes with a carrying case, which is really nice. That would be the microphone system. Something else that I have, if you're trying to do videos where you want like a microphone look, something kind of like this, you want it to look more professional, or you're doing podcast style or whatever it is, I actually got this off of Etsy. But this particular shop owner, this is 3D printed. So, and then you just pop it open and you have the little space there, and you can just put the microphone in there and clip it so that it stays sturdy. And then I've used this in the last video that I was filming, and this windscreen works perfect. Some of the challenges that I face being a legally blind YouTuber when I am out and about and filming are things like just general navigating terrain. You know, if you are in a situation where it's a crowd of people, if you've watched any of my recent videos, you maybe have noticed that I've had a couple of those kind of challenges where trying to walk around a crowd, you know, you're bumping into people, things like that. You know, the video I just got back from filming, we were filming in downtown, and the downtown area is pretty nice, but some of the sidewalks are a little bit uneven in places, and you know, and you have to kind of keep an eye out for steps or inclines or the curb. You know, maybe this part of the sidewalk's not as wide as other parts. Different things like that I have to stay very aware of, all while trying to film. And you kind of want to keep an eye on the composition of your film. There are things that are also kind of a little bit challenging in that I can't tell all the time if things are in focus. I can't tell if, you know, maybe there's something going on in the background. The nice thing about having something like an iPhone is it's going to do the focus for me, and that's pretty helpful. But even in the moment, you know, it's like I can film a whole thing and then be like, you know what, I don't like the way that looks. But sometimes you can't see what's going on around you in the film. You can't see what's going on in the background. You can't see, you know, if somebody's making a face, if something is, you know, and you didn't know that, like, okay, maybe we should reshoot that, you know, things like that. You know, they just kind of add to the challenge a little bit.
So walking around, on-site camera, filming, very challenging when you're blind. You got to make sure not to run into anything, run off of anything, trip. Not just because it's terrible to trip in public, but also because you're holding equipment. You don't want to break it. That really would be unfortunate.
I do think that as I get further along in YouTube, I will get more comfortable. I will be it'll be a little bit easier and natural. I'll be able to kind of work around some of that kind of stuff. Generally speaking, a lot of things that I do just in my daily life to kind of deal with the visual impairment are things like, you know, I tend to look down a lot more when I'm walking, because then I can see if there's going to be a step or something in the way that I need to step over. I have friends that, you know, will quite often tell me ahead of time, like, hey, by the way, this is a bigger step than normal, you know, or watch out for that hose going across the way, you know. My friends usually kind of give me a little bit of a heads up with stuff like that. So we've been out, we did the filming, and now we need to edit. So there's a lot of options out there. I, over the years, have used a few different options. When I first started, I started off with iMovie years ago, when I first started doing things involving video editing. And iMovie was free, so it worked great. But eventually I kind of needed a little bit more. And so I found an app for the iPad, because at the time I only had an iPad. And I found an app for the iPad that is called LumaFusion. And so I used LumaFusion for a while, and I really liked it. And I actually still have it on my iPad, just in case I still need it. I believe, I want to say it was like $40 or something. I can't remember exactly. I don't know how much it is now, but I've tried using Adobe Premiere, and it's okay. It's not bad. And I've tried using Final Cut Pro for the desktop. The thing that I found very frustrating about those is the interface was not very legally blind friendly. And so that really was more of a challenge than I really wanted to deal with. So I just kept reverting back to the LumaFusion on my iPad. And I know what you're thinking. This iPad is not very big, you know. It's like, this is my iPad, you know, and I've got this desktop back here, and it's like, you're gonna pick that small little screen over the big screen. Well, unfortunately, yes, because I just was really struggling with the software and using the software and feeling like I could could figure out what I was supposed to be doing and where things were and navigating it. So I would just keep falling back to my iPad. Last year, Final Cut Pro moved to the iPad. And I thought, okay, this could be kind of cool. It's like a $5 a month subscription, so it's not really too much money. It might be $6, I don't remember exactly. But it's very, very similar to LumaFusion. And if you have been in this kind of stuff, you already probably know that LumaFusion was kind of the Final Cut Pro on the iPad already. So that's probably why they're so similar. So I know that you might be thinking, like, this seems like this is still not going to work out. So there's still some challenges to be had, but there's a couple of things about this program that I think help. One of the things is that you can size your boxes. You can kind of make them smaller, bigger. So I can make this a little bit bigger, which makes that really helpful when I'm editing to do stuff. I can zoom in with like the pinch zoom gestures. But one of the most significant accessibility features isn't even in this program. It's just the iPad itself. I will link down below. I've done a video showing the accessibility features on the iPad to make the iPad more functional for my visual impairment. But I have this little control button right here, and I can just double tap that, and I have this control, and I can just kind of move around the screen with it and zoom in, and I can see everything I need to see. So this little magnifier right here makes being able to do this a lot easier. Something else in relation to equipment is I have a tripod, which is what my phone is mounted on right now. I also have a light back here that's kind of hanging out, and I have a little light kind of behind me that is a purple light, just to create a little bit of you know, fun, because why not? And you know, that's pretty much everything that I use for doing YouTube. And I still have my challenges here and there, and I'm constantly trying to kind of learn and find new ways of overcoming them. But overall, I'm just kind of taking it one video at a time, really. I've been doing this channel for about a year now, so we'll see what the next year is going to hold and see what adventures we can get into. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. This channel is all about my life with albinism. Albinism is a genetic condition, and one of the things that it affects is my vision, so I am legally blind. If you'd like to learn more about that, I'll link that video down in the description as well, about what albinism is and some things about that. But, you know, I have faced a lot of challenges in life, and having a disability is just a thing, and having a disability isn't going to stop me from doing the things I like to do. I have had to learn different ways to do the things I like to do, and so I have created this channel so that, you know, maybe other people are kind of going through some similar things. Maybe you are legally blind, have a visual impairment, and I can be of help to you and help you learn how to use some things, do some things. I have videos about, you know, some accessibility features on the computer, as well as the phone and the tablet and the watch. So, you know, I really want to help people be able to know how to do some things to work around the visual impairment. If there's anything that is related to visual impairment or albinism that you would like to know more about, whether it's tips and tricks for dealing with different situations or whatever it might be, or you just have more questions about my life with it and how I handle certain situations, leave them down in the comments below. And some point in the future, I will do videos discussing kind of some of those kind of things. And thanks for watching.